Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I'm so glad that our stalwart group has been here this morning. While much of our congregation is off at Star Island for the weekend, this is the group that's really sticking with it, and I love that so much for us. Thank you for being here today. And whether you come filled with joy or with sadness, whether it's just because you forgot that there could be other things to happen, or that this is actually particularly important in your daily lives, regardless of your religious background or even absence of one, whomever you love and whatever brought you here today, welcome. I speak from all of us in being able to say we're so glad you're here. For everyone that is joining us, whether it's in our sanctuary or over our live stream, if you've been here forever, are returning, or just finding this community, we welcome you. And I hope that you find a sense of belonging here in this, our covenantal community. I do ask, however, that we do not find a place of belonging for our electronic devices. If you could just be reminded to silence them, and I will try to do the same myself. My name is Willow Young, and I am one of a team of worship associates who have the honor of working with our settled minister, Reverend Ellen Quadras, our director of Lifespan Ministries, Kirsten Hunter, our music director, Jonny Peiffer, and with help today from Jen Leyden. We also have Ben Abbott in the back providing our video with what looks like a new assistant in training. Lovely to see. And much of the rest of our staff, some who you've seen and some who are just always behind the scenes, keeping this community running and working to bring worship service to you each and every week. Today, we are graced to have Sandra Greenfield in the pulpit today. Sandra is an educator, trainer, and facilitator of sexual health and justice learning, as well as a religious education consultant through the Association of UU Transitions Professionals. This is formerly the Guild of Interim Religious Educators. She has a master's degree in sexuality education from Widener University with a focus on sexuality and spirituality. I tell you, I've got lots of questions. I can't wait. She offers rites of passage services via Spirit of Life ceremonies and resides in Durham, New Hampshire, where she is also known as Gramdra by her 4-year-old grandchild. And there are a few of us who know her from her time here at South Church in the early 2000s as our own Director of Religious Education. Just a reminder for those in need of assistance, we have personal listening devices and large print hymnals available in the back, where our ushers will be able to help you with that if you need. We also invite you to join us in fellowship after the service for social hour, coffee, drinks, little snacks out on the portico today. And I think that's it. Jen, you've got some announcements for us.
Quick announcements. First is that Reverend Ellen is putting together our poetry service, which will be held on August 18th, I believe. And she is inviting everybody to join her after worship next Sunday downstairs to kind of have a little poetry session. And for those of you who feel inspired, I will be inviting you to share some of that poetry during the service. So next Sunday, 11:30, downstairs. And the second announcement is that we are currently, and by we I mean Jen Deldeo Berry, currently recruiting for RE volunteers, which is super fun. So I wonder if any of you know any South Church kids, and one of Jen's challenges for the rest of the summer is to get to know 5 South Church kids. There's a bunch of them sitting around here. I see a Sasha, and Onyx, and Maisie, and a little nugget of Evelyn. I mean, how do you not want to know that delicious little nugget? So if you are interested in volunteering for RE or in finding out what kind of things Jen is looking for, you can touch base with her. You'll be outside at coffee hour, right? She'll be outside. You can email her. It's a really great way to kind of plug in and get to know some folks. So reach out to Jen. And I think finally, we're going to do a quick testimonial. Stephanie Katz, who works with the kiddos in RE, and then hand it over to her.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Stephanie Katz, and my husband, Jeremy Parker, and I started attending South Church a little over a year ago. We both grew up in the Nashua area and attended the UU Church of Nashua growing up, including going through Sunday school and youth group together in New Hampshire, Vermont, YRUU conferences. We've both lived away from New Hampshire for many years, but we moved back to Dover about just over 2 years ago, and we've been gradually finding our way back into the community here in the Seacoast area. And South Church has been a big part of us starting to find some sense of place here. So last year, we volunteered for Coming of Age, which is South Church's program for 8th graders. COA aims to deepen youth's sense of community within South Church, help them discover and define their own values and beliefs, and celebrate their transition from childhood to adolescence. I was one of the 4 COA facilitators, and Jeremy was one of the youth mentors. Excuse me. Recently, I was chatting with Jen about next year's program, which I'm planning to join again as a facilitator. Right now, Jen, as Jen mentioned, is seeking adults to fill roles in all of the RE programs, and I offer to help promote these opportunities by sharing what being part of COA has meant to me. So growing up in the UU Church of Nashua, youth group was everything to me. As a kid who struggled to find a sense of belonging in conventional settings, youth group was where I felt safe to be myself. It's where I formed lasting friendships with peers and adults that have lasted a lifetime and led to my marriage, and had my first experiences volunteering myself, of being in leadership roles, being accountable to my community, and contributing and feeling like being part of something bigger than myself. Volunteering for COA, for me, was about paying that forward and giving that back to other people who are in the youth part of their life right now. So that's why what I intended to do by volunteering as a facilitator, but what I didn't expect was that it would just all come back to me again. So it was finding a welcoming, loving community, developing special connections with unique, inspiring, and kind individuals, and getting that feeling of being part of something bigger. So if any of you out there have found yourself yearning for any of these things, I encourage you to reach out to Jen, because I promise you it will give back way, way more than it takes from your time. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me and chat to me, or Jen if you'd like to learn more. Thank you.
I am finding my way. I am finding my way. I am finding my way back to now. I am finding my way. I am finding my way. I am finding my way back to now. I am finding my way. I am finding my way. I am finding my way back to now. I am finding my way. I am finding my way. I am finding my way back to now.
Thank you for that. Our chalice lighting words this morning are a gift from Mark Bellantini entitled Love Prayer. Love, you are as strong as a dark blue mountain. Love, you are as fluid as a wide silver river. Love, you are as splendid as clear night sky. Love, you are as mysterious as a dark forest. Love, you are as wise as enduring friendship. Love, you are true power, not mere distraction, truth, not deceit, purpose, not impulse, poetry, not prose, sing, not sang, now more than tomorrow, but tomorrow more than yesterday. Love, condense yourself into this moment. Permeate the silence that joins us in community, so that in the fire of the words to come, the promises of this hour might be sealed in peace. I invite you all to rise in body and spirit and join us together in affirming our mission here at South Church. The words are in your order of service. At South Church, we nurture spiritual growth through worship, learning, and community. We celebrate the worth and dignity of all people, and we inspire one another to act on our faith in the larger community.
So I always enjoy getting up here to take a stab at some opening words, especially after having talked with our speaker and getting to contemplate a week of theme. And it finally struck me, probably sometime around 2 a.m. last night, at the end of a long day of chores, that 18 years ago, exactly tomorrow, I was graced with a fresh reminder of how one can experience love. 18 years ago tomorrow is when my twins came into the world, children number 2 and 3, my daughters Maggie and Ivy. And I was given yet another happy reminder of the absolute need for care, attention, and love that children call for from us. Now, happily, they were not our first children. Cynthia and I had already had one child previously, but suddenly having twins dropped on our lap brought a whole new level of effort into our lives, one that we took with some degree of grace, a little bit of chaos, and as they aged, we found a happy and delightful rhythm. But yes, we were suddenly juggling 3 children, all under 3. And while there is a lot our children can teach us about the world, one of the most profound lessons I received, and I find I keep continuing to be reminded of this. What's the old phrase? Every good lesson I've learned, I've had to learn twice, thrice, ad nauseum. But it was how important it is that our children both know and understand what unconditional love is and how that can create a deeper understanding of themselves and the relationships that they will build. A line that came from one of Cynthia's side of the family: love makes up for a lot of mistakes. And while that was true, mistakes, misunderstandings, and a lack of clairvoyance on the part of my children, why can't they just read my mind and know what I mean? Why can't anyone do that? Well, it can leave the person experiencing that mistake wondering about what it can all mean. Why? I've continued to learn that loving my children openly, vocally, and unconditionally is great, but I'm not always sure that gives them grounding, because I know it doesn't always give me grounding. There will still be voices in my head. And I came back to the theme that Sandra presented for us and really reflected on that and was reminded again of this lesson about how real connection requires sharing. And that what I learned through this myriad of mistakes that I made with my children and trying to communicate when I made a mistake, trying to take ownership of that and trying to kind of guide them through challenges in ways that they could understand, that was hopefully appropriate for their age. It reminded me to keep not just to keep my messages simple, and that oftentimes a simple explanation could be just as profound in helping shape both their lives and mine. I'm also reminded that this is a relationship behavior to take out to the rest of my world. Right? That it's not just me trying to be a good parent for my children. It's not just me trying to model something that will allow them to live powerfully and love strongly, but that if I wish to have powerful, loving, strong, healthy relationships in my life, I have to realize the world isn't clairvoyant. I will make mistakes. I have to communicate my love and hopefully communicate in a way that others will understand where I am, what I've done wrong, and how I can redress that. So I thank you all once again for being here today, and I invite you to open up your big hymnal to 131 and join us in what will hopefully be an error of my own ways, for love will guide us. Thank you.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Can you hear me now? Thank you, my love. I have a time to share with you all, and if you are young in spirit or body, and if you would like to come forward, I have a special question to ask you. Folks want to come forward? Here we go. Good morning. Love is letting go of fear. Love is letting go of fear. I'm gonna let the love in, feel my life begin. Oh, love is letting go of fear. Good morning. My name is Sandra, and it is my absolute joy to be with you all this morning. But I do have a question for you. I wonder what you do when you have a time or a moment when you're feeling afraid or you're feeling sad. What are some of the things that you do? And if you tell me, I'll repeat them. What do you do? Is there someone you talk to? Is there something you do? So who do you talk to? So my mom. Good answer, Mom. You hear that, right? My mom. So someone goes to their mom when they're feeling sad or afraid. Others who, what do you do, Jen? Sometimes Jen cries. Yeah, and does that help at all? Yeah, it helps. It can help, yeah. Others, what might you do when you're feeling sad or afraid? Like to be with your friends. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. You like to do what? Scream into my pillow. All right, raise your hand. How many have done that? Yeah, here we go. What do you do, Sasha? Eat food. Anything in particular? Bread. All right. Sourdough bread. There you go. That's a very therapeutic choice. I agree with you. Any other ideas? Well, the reason I ask is that I had a time when I was young when some things happened to my family that were terrifying. I was very afraid, and I was very sad. My little brother was very ill. The doctors were having a very hard time helping Keith through his illness. And my grandmother, who was living in Chincoteague, Virginia. Chincoteague, Virginia, anybody? Yeah? All right. Had also had a medical situation happen to her. And I so much was afraid, and I was so sad, and I wasn't quite sure what to do. But I had an idea, so I asked my mom, when both of those people that I loved did not survive what was happening to them, I asked her if I could have a puppy. And my mom said, "Oh, let me think about that." So you know what that was, right? Right? But I really wanted that puppy. We had gerbils, they're cute, not quite what I was looking for, right? So I kept hoping and wishing, and then lo and behold, come Christmas morning, Santa brought me a dog. This, my friends, is Droopy. And this, my friends, is what love looks like. Droopy's missing an eye. He's been loved for a long time. Fur, kind of not all together there. Actually, is missing some of the stuffing, which is why he's wearing this wicked cool scarf. Droopy held me through so much. Do you have a Droopy? Do you have someone like this, like Droopy? Yeah, I think we all have had or still have a Droopy in our lives, right? Droopy helped me through everything. When I moved away from home, when I lived far away, when I went to school, when I had my own kids, Droopy was my go-to. Droopy never judged. Droopy always listened. And Droopy sat quietly and patiently on the bed every day, waiting for me to come home. Droopy to me is what love looks like. And I'm so glad that you have each other, your moms, your sourdough bread, to help you through times, because it happens. Sometimes we get sad, sometimes we get afraid. And I would hope for all of you that you have a Droopy in your life. Putting Droopy on the bed, I think about all the folks who might need a Droopy, or folks who have a Droopy, and that's a good way to start the day, right? First off, to make your bed. And secondly, I hope there's a Droopy that's there for you. And that's my story for this morning, is I wanted to introduce you to Droopy. So I believe now children are going to head outside for some playtime. There is, I believe, some shells involved, if I'm not revealing anything. So if we could sing these wonderful children and their adults out with Go in Peace, hymn number 413.
One of the things I actually enjoy a lot, dare say love, about the Unitarian Universalist tradition is that we, as a community, don't tithe. We actually invite people to bring their gifts in whatever manner that they can bring their gifts, whether that's time, treasure, or talent. Unfortunately, congregational opportunities do require treasure. So we encourage folks to give as they can. And in that part, we do too. At South Church, we take each of our plates, or the plate and offering from every week, whether it's given in cash or electronically, and split that with an organization that aligns with our values and themes. In fact, during the month of July, our collection is going to be shared with Seacoast Family Promise. Chosen by our collective leadership team, Seacoast Family Promise provides temporary housing, food, and shelter to families through a structured journey utilizing SMART goals, trauma-informed care, employment education, and housing searches, financial education, parenting, and other effective tools that help lead families back to stability and the return to a place that they can call home for themselves. So I now invite our ushers forward to bring up our offering. You may do so in cash, check, however, you can use the Vanco app or use the QR code provided in our order of service. Thank you very much.
precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
I invite us all now into a time of prayer and meditation and intention. Give you a chance to settle into your bodies. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. And when I breathe out, I breathe out love. Spirit of life and love, light within and without. Mystery from which we have all emerged, within which we live and die. Be with us now as we allow ourselves to drop into the silence and stillness at the center of our being. As people of faith, we seek to live in a spirit of love, a spirit of community, justice, and peace. And yet, in so many corners of the world, both far and near, we see divisiveness and hate. If we look deep within ourselves, perhaps we even find those shadow energies there too. We struggle to respond to the outer world and our inner dramas in ways that manifest love. At times we may fear that love will not be strong enough. At times we may question whether love really is at the root of all things in this world with so much struggle and suffering and discord. We may struggle to hold on to our faith in love, knowing that if all things come from the one source we proclaim, that source must somehow hold hate as well as love, violence as well as peace, evil as well as good. This is the mystery within which we live and die. These are the questions that haunt our days and nights. And yet, we are not without hope. Our struggles and our questions testify to our longing for peace and for love. Our very longings are born out of that mystery we dare to address as spirit of life and love. In the stillness and silence of our own heart, we read the imprint of love, created not by our own will, but planted there for us to discover. By what or whom, we cannot know. And yet, it is there. A clue, a talisman, a beacon, a light within. May it keep hope alive even as we dwell in mystery. May it guide us all as we seek to act wisely and well. May it help us to be vessels of compassion for one another and for our world. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Amen. has to be.
Within all of us, there are moments of sadness, moments of joy, times for contemplation. And as part of that understanding, we invite a practice for anyone who wishes to take a moment and reflect on a joy or concern that you're holding right now. And if it is something that you want us to know about, please take a moment and write your concern on the yellow pastoral care cards that you can find in the pew. You can then pass that to an usher, myself, or one of the other ministerial teams, and we'll make sure that someone reaches out to you. I now invite lighting of candles of joy and concern.
And I was walking down that road with a troubled mind, and I feel your pain, and your fears are like mine. Together we share, and it tears the walls down. Oh love, carry me home. Love is letting go of fear. Love is letting go of fear. I'm gonna let the love in, feel my life begin. is letting go of fear. It was the predictable end to a very busy and fun family day for my two daughters, Elise and Rachel. We had spent a sunny, warm day at Storyland, riding rides, eating lots of ice cream, and walking around for miles. Their dad and I took them to a restaurant in Conway before heading back home to Goffstown, which was probably not the easiest meal we ever had. But as we finally dragged our weary bones towards the door of the restaurant, we were greeted by a torrential rainstorm. Perfect. Their dad left the three of us in a very crowded doorway while he dodged the rain to get the van. The exhaustion must have been apparent on my face by a very old man who was sharing the small doorway with us. To our surprise, he smiled and reached behind Rachel's ear and removed a gold coin. "Why, look what I just found behind your ear," he said. And then he reached behind Elise's ear and pulled out a playing card. "Oh my," he said, "and look what you've been hiding behind your ear." He spent the next few minutes entertaining them, well, all of us, with a variety of magic tricks that had them totally entranced and magically happy. He finally looked at my children and asked, "How old are you two?" Now, Elise, being the oldest and taking her job seriously and responsibly, responded for them both, "I am 6 and my sister is 4. He charmed them some more with his wide grin. "And how old are you?" Rachel asked. Of course, to the embarrassment of and shock to me as a parent, right? And he said, "Oh, I am really old. I am over 85 years old and probably don't have many years left to live." Rachel took him by the hand and looked up at his wrinkled face and said, "But you are wrong. You are never going to die. You know magic. And when you know magic, you live forever and ever." And then it was his and my turn to cry. In the theoretical world of human development, a world full of models and ideas of how we grow and learn and form our values and our identities, the four of us had shared the same experience, but did not experience it in the same way. This exchange impacted our ideas of ourselves and our place in the world in distinctly different ways. The four of us were on our own journeys of love, a feeling described in the recently amended Article 2 of our association's values and covenant as the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. Values born and reborn from love include equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, justice, and interdependence. In that dimly lit, cramped doorway, each of us was being reborn again and again with new ideas of exactly who we were and what meaning our lives held. For a few precious moments, we were a little church family, seeking truth and love, helping one another, and growing our own souls into harmony with the divine. We were in various phases and stages of what was coined by James Fowler in 1974 as faith development, which in recent years has evolved and has come to be viewed more as a formation rather than a measured series of steps and stages that characterized Fowler's and others' developmental theories. So with your permission and patience, if you would continue to listen as I get my geek on and say a bit more, because as Willow mentioned, I went to graduate school and I'm now in serious debt. I need to use this somehow. So these theories serve as a framework for understanding the ways in which we humans conceptualize God or a higher power or the mystery of life or the unknown, and the resulting influence on core values, beliefs, and meanings in personal relationships and in people's personal lives. Core values, beliefs, and meanings. Much of our contemporary understanding of how we develop our spirituality and our faith do come through those early works of Fowler and Westerhoff, who shared their stages of faith development on human development, and moral theories of scholars such as Piaget and Erikson and Kohlberg. Some of these names may sound familiar to many of you. In essence, these are all descriptions of the ways we make sense of and commit to transcendent values and reality as we progress through the lifespan. We have learned a lot as those early white male scholars formulated these ideas. Our models have become more informed and empathic and have evolved to include a diversity of perspectives, age, gender, sexual orientation, race, and experiences. Through the works of Strive, we've gained an understanding of how life history and interpersonal relationships factor into our identity and values formation. Interpersonal relationships. So let me return to that crowded doorway with the four of us. 4-year-old Rachel was living in a fluid world of fantasy and reality, learning about religion and faith through experience with growing empathic affectation. She was learning about life through physical experiences and was open to spirituality. As a young UU, she was full of wonder and fearless about big questions. Her instincts about our magician friend and what he needed were core to her. She was still in her heart more than her head. And it was important for 6-year-old Elise to attend to order and authority and responsibility. She was gaining an understanding of what motivates people and was learning best through social interaction, especially with her peers. She was doing religion to know religion. She was emotionally affected by the old man's magic, but compelled to learn exactly how he managed to make it look like she had a playing card behind her ear. She never took her eyes off of him and his hands the whole time. Now me, the 40-something, I was in a spiritual awakening, breaking down the myths, taboos, and standards of my childhood that had shaped my behavior and my responses. I was actually reimagining the power of magic after having taken Cakes for the Queen of Heaven at the UU Church in Manchester, which is a feminist theology program that allowed me to see a time when God was worshipped as female instead of male. I had rejected the Christian God at the age of 8, when our Southern Baptist pastor was unable to help us children make sense of the murder of our grandmother and the death of our 4-year-old brother within months of each other. That magician turned messenger in the restaurant doorway cracked open the seeds of distrust that I carried for many years through his softness and his willingness to be vulnerable. And the 85-year-old magician who was approaching the end of his life learned that he still had quite a bit to learn about life, and that in many ways he was dying a premature death by accepting the idea that he had nothing left to learn. I'm sure he didn't expect to be getting a life lesson from a 4 and a 6-year-old. Through the eyes of my children, he saw himself reborn once more. And I was walking down that road with a peace of mind, and I feel your hopes, and your dreams are like mine. To give is to receive, and that's all we need. Oh love, carry me home. Love is letting go of fear. Love is letting go of fear. I'm gonna let the love in, feel my life begin. Oh, love is letting go of fear. Native American elder Stephen Charleston tells this story. One of the best ways to research complex spiritual questions is to talk about them with children. That kind of conversation once brought me to explain the human soul as a nightlight. It is always on, I said, and it never goes out. Even if you have your own eyes shut, it is still there, glowing in the darkness. And it will be there when you wake up, showing you a simple path to follow. The soul is the nightlight of the spirit. Unitarian Universalism and UU faith and identity formation have been evolving. We now understand that the ways we learn are relational and interconnected, more of a spiral than a straight line, and rooted in how we are together, building on our inheritance and foundation of love. Sometimes we are the magician. Sometimes we are the intellectual observer. Sometimes we are the sage, and sometimes we are the droopy. In the newly informed embodiment of Unitarian Universalist identity and values formations, relationships are at the center. This is a foundational framework for the Whole Lives program. As Willow mentioned, we have partnered together in that program, a program based on knowledge, values, and actions experienced in a brave space, guided by open-hearted adult facilitators, absorbing a new awareness of what it feels like to be an evolving human, which happens to everyone in that room. And I feel your hope, and your dreams are like mine. To give is to receive, and that's all we need. Oh love, carry me home. This love, this feeling is palpable. It's affirming, it's testimony, and it's witnessing. Not bad for a four-letter word, huh? Love is hope, and right now, we need a lot of it. Earlier, I asked the children what they do when they are afraid or they are sad. There was quite a bit of variety in their responses. I don't think I'm ever going to look at sourdough bread the same again. Each one of them full of wisdom, full of strategies and awareness of what they need. So let me ask, what do you do when you're afraid or sad? What do you do when you are afraid or sad? Who or what is your droopy? Take a few minutes, think about that. What do you do? And if you feel comfortable, if you would, turn to the person next to you and share what you do. And tell them what love looks like for you when you need it most. What do you do? We all need those transformational, all ages, all stages connections, and to learn and grow with our own peer groups, whether those groups are by age or by life experience. This is a compelling faith formation ministry that develops the many spiritual gifts that make our world a better place. Church life has drastically changed over the years as cultures have evolved. Expressions, buildings, and traditions have changed. And the last 4 to 5 years have scattered us all away from church, putting church life on hold. Some people don't want to come back. Restoring core ministries in our congregations may need us to listen, really listen to those around us as we adjust to the new realities with grace and love. It is my sense, though, that we may need to begin by acknowledging what we've all been through in recent years. As a consultant with the Association of UU Transition Professionals, I frequently hear that folks just want to pick up where we left off before COVID. And my response? Love is letting go of fear. And in order to let go, we need to name those fears and name our own Droopy. Love is letting go of fear. Love is letting go of fear. I'm gonna let the love in, feel my life begin. Oh, love is letting go of fear. I believe in magic. All kinds of magic. Every time I make my bed and put Droopy right in the center, I find myself smiling and taking in a deep breath. All is right with the world with Droopy by my side. This is what a lifetime of love looks like. Seeing Droopy is also a tender reminder of the fear and sadness that so many are carrying. And I say a short prayer that they all find their own Droopy. A ministry of families, families with children, with elders, with only adults, and even with four-legged children, families of origin and of choice. This ministry, this faith, calls us to meet people where they are. It is about love. It is about relationships and interconnectedness. It creates faith formation experiences for adults, which are as important as for children and youth. Each of us must find a way to love the world. And it is about a choice to keep on giving and learning and magically living forever, because you never know when someone is going to find a gold coin behind your ear. On this day and every day, may we all flourish in our chosen faith and in love. I invite us all now to join in our closing hymn, hymn 1021, and our teal hymnal, Lean on Me.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow,
Some days I really love this church. Well, we extinguish our chalice now. And we do so in partnership through our collective interdependence. And in so doing, may we take this flame into the world, holding the light of our love. And may that light within all of us help and help others evolve from fear into love.
Our closing words are from Starhawk. We are all longing to come home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered, half envisioned, we can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throat. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us, eyes will light up as we enter, voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends, someplace where we can be free.
Nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be in time. It's easy. All you need is love. Thank you. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need.